Tampa Motormouth in the zone behind the microphone, shooting from the hip, but hey, that's what I usually do. Yes, indeedy, you know it's true. All crazy in the time, in the zone behind the microphone. Happy Tuesday. How are y'all doing out there in sports land? Bad weekend for the Bucks. Not so good in fantasy football. Let's get that right to that. Let's get, since if you know me, and granted you probably have been listening to quite a bit, so there's just a tad bit of a chance that you know I'm into fantasy football. And with how the season is going, I have come up with a solution to still make my irrelevant fantasy teams relevant. That's right, I figure you know if the World Series of Suck can work for the worst teams in baseball and make it interesting, and it was interesting. It was interesting. That was fun. Going to set up for both leagues the Super Bowl of Suck for fantasy. Ryan, of course, it's just me solo today. We're going to do that whole Super Bowl of Suck as it gets closer to the end of the season. But I'll tell you, if you're out there, and since we're going to segue into the first segment, that's right, fantasy football folks. You are out there, and you are thinking, is there anybody that is having a worst, wrong tense, past, present, and future, all walk into a bar at the same time? It was tense. Anyone thought that you had a worse fantasy football week than yours truly? I've got hope. I have hope for you today, Tuesday, October 23rd, 2012. Place to be if maybe you're a little politicked out. Granted, important stuff. Election just about 2 weeks out. Other podcasts talking about that. I like the oasis of sports. And to this point, I have not brought politics into the Sports Shuffle, other than maybe a comment here, maybe a comment there, but have done my utmost to keep Sports Shuffle sports. Because I know if you're like me, you're paying attention, you're tracking stuff, reading the internets, reading the blogs, following what's going on, watching the debates, whether or not you're playing debating drinking games or not, that's your choice. But with me, it's usually the water or caffeine. Then after a while, you kind of have to back off the caffeine. You have too much caffeine, you go, well, what am I doing up? And it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Why is it 4 o'clock in the morning and my butt is still up? That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Because you drink the caffeine. Yeah, man, this is good. Ooh, it's going down. I need more caffeine. And it's going down. After a while, water's a good thing. Yes, indeed. But where was I going with this? I've been rambling nonstop for 2 minutes. Fantasy football. Beatdown of the week times 2. Not just 1 beatdown. 2 beatdowns. Yours truly on the receiving end of both such beatdowns. Are you ready? And this isn't even the worst beatdown. This is not even the worst beatdown. Oh. And Yahoo. Oh, now this is cool. Yahoo now has recaps for your fantasy teams, as if it were on ESPN or on Yahoo Sports. And, well, Orlando Pirates waxes cruel wind of fate. Yeah, that's my team. Deepens losing streak frustrations. The Orlando Pirates not exactly having a stellar season of their own there, Kevin. But 3-4 as opposed to yours truly 2-5. 110.51 to 58.68. Orlando Pirates got 21. 30 points from Gronk. 19.45. You can tell this is fancy. Can you imagine? Imagine somebody on the NFL Network going, Rob Gronkowski ended up having 21.30 yards. Oh, I don't know, with how mainstream fantasy has gotten, I could see that happen. 21.30 points, highest TE score of the week. Frank Gore, 1945, crushing my team. 110.51, 58.68. While Cruel Wind of Fate is only a game back, adding to the Cruel Wind of Fate. Ooh, was that a Cruel Wind of Fate or was that just me? Only a game back of the Orlando Pirates. They're quite a bit farther back in points. Yeah, you think? Understatement. 713.36. That's Orlando Pirates. The 560.68. Cruel Wind of Fate has fallen off completely after losing their last 5. Orlando Pirates, smooth moves. Gronk, of course, 21.30. Frank Gore, 1945. Ranked 5th out of all the RBs in the league this week. Gronk, highest TE. Yeah, of course. Stevie Johnson scoring 14.35 points. 10th highest WR score in the league this week. Top 10 WR. Orlando Pirates had most of their starters meet their scoring projection, 6 out of 9. Orlando Pirates also saw both of their starting RBs top their projection. Cruel Wind of Fate regret tracker. Somebody has my sense of humor. That's something I would have come up with. Picked up and started the Indianapolis Colts defense, which then scored below, yes, thank you, their 9.16 point projection with 4 points. Yay! Jason Hansen was last on the team, scoring with 13.4% of his projected 74.45, which is his lowest percentage of the season. Torrey Smith has now failed to reach his projection for 3 straight games this week. He scored 5.10 points versus a projected 9.42. At the QB position, Cruel Wind of Fate got outscored 18.36 to 7.58 by Orlando Pirates. Cruel Wind of Fate got outscored 11 to 4 by the Orlando Pirates at the defensive position. What if Orlando Pirates would be 5-2 if they played Cruel Wind of Fate each week? Yeah, gee, thanks. Orlando Pirates would have beaten 9 other teams besides Cruel Wind of Fate this week. That's kind of nice to know. Had they played each other last week, Orlando Pirates would have still won, but not as dominant. They played the same schedule as Cruel Wind of Fate. Orlando Pirates would be 3-3, not that much better. Orlando Pirates played every team in the league each week. They'd be 48-43. Besides Orlando Pirates, Cruel Wind of Fate, that's an easy name for me to say, might want to change it so it's an easier name to say, would have been defeated by 11 other teams this week. Yeah, and it's a 14-team league, so that means there's only 3 other teams that I would have won. Yes! Woohoo! I'm the best at being worst. Outstanding! And Cruel Wind of Fate would be 25-66 if they played every team every week. Game notes. 3 of the 5 losses for CWOF, that's easier to say this week, have come when their opponent scores higher than the season average. And how about this? With 2490 points, the Orlando Pirates got the highest combined scoring output from the TE position for any team this week. So I'm posting this. I'm posting this. I'm typing right now. Congratulations, Kevin. Yeah, it's not pretty. Posting this now. Bam! To Facebook. It's posted. Folks, when it's fantasy football, even as seriously as you take it, I'm telling you, you can't take it too seriously. You got to take it seriously, but you can't take it too seriously. Okay. Here's this one that this is reset button. This is the team in the 10-team league. Orlando Pirates hangs a huge upset on reset button, moves up to 5th place. So this one, I was at 6th place when the week started. I seriously doubt I'm at 6th place now. We can do a quick check live. Look at the scoreboard. Hey, I'm only at 7. I'm still in it somehow. Even with as sucky as I am, I'm still in it. Orlando Pirates, this time around, 152-14. Reset button, yours truly. Also, easier team name to say. Naturally, as I say, easier team name to say. My tongue got in the way of my eye teeth, so I couldn't see what I was saying. But hey, 77-73. Orlando Pirates once again put up the highest point total this season. Upset reset button, overcoming a 13.99 point spread. Solid route. Reset button was led by Doug Martin. Yay! Almost 19 points. And Eli Manning, who scored 15.88. Orlando Pirates climbs into 5th place. And reset button drops to 7th place. Orlando Pirates smooth moves. Are we sensing a trend here? Are we sensing a trend? Thank you, cough button. Or in this case, that would be snort button. But hey, thank you, cough button. Oh, maybe I should just start calling it snort button. But hey, let's get back to snorting out this loss. And yeah, it was full of snort. So hey, Orlando Pirates smooth move. All 9 players in the starting lineup exceeded their projected points. Of course they did. He's playing me. Chris Johnson. Yes, that Chris Johnson, who everyone has written off all across fantasy land, has the 10th most points in the league with 32.05, leading the league in points for the week. Of course, best running back in the league out of 10 running backs. Orlando Pirates acquired Brandon Myers, who exceeded his scoring projection by 131.2%. The 9th highest percentage in the league with 24.80 points. Randall Cobb beat his scoring projection by a league-leading 331.3% for rank 6th in the league in scoring. Wisely sat Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions needed a cough button last night for the whole game. Just hold down the cough button for the whole game. Because they choked for 4 quarters. I know. I had Calvin Johnson. On behalf of everybody else who started Calvin Johnson. Thanks, Detroit. Okay, I'm fine. I know, I'm a little bit more rowdy than usual. But when you get blowed out twice, you get pissed. When you get blowed out twice, not one league, twice, by the same owner, you're pissed. Okay? And I say it, as much as I say it's true, it's fantasy, you gotta take it cool. You're still pissed. But you gotta make light of it. But you're still pissed. Even when you're not playing for jelly beans, folks. You're still pissed. Am I right? Seriously. Fantasy football? You're trying to escape everything. You're in a fantasy world, and you're getting killed numerically. Are we ready? 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 Are we ready to ready to read the reset button regret tracker? Are we? Hey, the starters on reset button underperformed. No spit Sherlock versus their projections. Jason Hansen was last on the team with scoring 1 point. 13.4% of his projected 7.45, which is his lowest percentage of the season. Reset button got outscored 14-1 by the Orlando Pirates at the kicker position. Folks, I sucked at the kicking position. At the defensive position, reset button got outscored by the Orlando Pirates 15-7. Calvin Johnson. Thanks for nothing, Calvin. It's the curse. It's the freaking Madden curse. It's the curse. Calvin Cursed Johnson did not meet his 14.29 projected points and now has underperformed versus projections for 3 straight weeks. No freaking kidding. I own him. He has also scored a season-low 4.15 points. Get your spit together, Calvin. Yo! All those targets last night. Yo! What if Orlando Pirates played reset button every week? They'd be 4-3 this season. Orlando Pirates would have been undefeated if they played every team in the league this week. They played each other last week. Orlando Pirates would have defeated reset button again, 118.79 to 98.42. Had they played the same schedule as reset button, Orlando Pirates would be 2-4. At least that's something. Orlando Pirates have played every team in the league every week. They'd be 39-38. Reset button would have lost to 7 other teams besides Orlando Pirates this week. Yeah, at least I'd win 3 teams I could have beaten. Yay. Reset button would be 4-2 if they played the same schedule as Orlando Pirates. They played every team every week. Reset button would be 34-43. Game notes. All 4 losses for the reset button this season have come when their opponents had their highest scoring week this season. Yeah, of course. Top players for the Orlando Pirates were elite in the matchup. Elite in the matchup. Yay. As 3 of the starters outperformed the leading score for reset button. Margin of victory was 74.41 points, was the largest in the league this week, and biggest in the league this season, of course it was. With 152.14 points, Orlando Pirates had the highest score of any team in the league this season. Reset button lost by the biggest margin of the week for the second time this season. Yay. The 8.25 total points by the wide receivers on reset button was their lowest wide receiver, no spit, output this season. With a combined 40.7 points from their RBs, Orlando Pirates got their highest combined scoring output from the RB position this season. It was a season low point total. No spit for reset button. Well, as I said, Motormouth Minute Plus. I really was planning on talking about other things, but I feel better. I do. I really feel better. I just had to get that out there. Because when you got thoroughly spanked that badly, fantasy football, you need to cleanse yourself. You need to take all the bad karma and cast it out into the universe. You need to become one again with a fantasy zen. I have no idea what that means. I just made all that up. But I'll tell you. Thank you all for listening to it's a 20-minute rant, basically, about how this week, apparently, I decided to suck at fantasy football. Yes. Yes, indeed. I do. I do. Do. And so we'll have a non-Sports Shuffle fantasy football show tomorrow. But I dare say that it feels better to take all of the fantasy frustration and release it to the universe. So, you thought you had a rough fantasy week? I think I just topped you. Twice. Times 2. So there you have it. That's it for me. Thank you for listening to my rant. Hope your fantasy week goes better this week. I sure hope mine does. But at least we'll have a fun time dissecting the deluge from this point forward out. One quick crazy thought of the day. Ozzie Guillen, of course, let go by the Fish, the Marlins. So where does Ozzie wind up? Well, here's a shuffle says early. I say, and I'll do this on tomorrow's show too, Shuffle says Ozzie Guillen is the new manager for the Toronto Blue Jays. Book it, lock it, don't forget to rock it. Ho! And as the Maha Man once asked, who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who? Well, folks, that's it for me. Here's hoping the Bucks can bounce back Thursday night. And though probabilities probably don't favor on it, but crazier stuff has happened on Thursday night games, because usually Thursday night games are a reverse suck. It's going to go badly, but not for the team that you think. And I'll sign off for real, because I already led you into thinking that I was signing off. But in fact, I wanted to get the crazy thought out. But now, I'm really signing off. I feel better now. I am one with the universe. I am at peace with fantasy football. And also can't wait to see Iron Man 3. Is it April yet? Okay. Talk at you next time. Kids, really, no fooling, not pretending. Honestly, not going to start up another segment, not going to talk about anything else. Really, honestly, truly, for reals, I'm gone.